I'd like you to run a quick test on this for me, please.
Well, I can't say how quick it'll be. What is it?
As a matter of fact, it's cocoa.
Cocoa?
Yes, there's been some mix-up and it might contain poison.
It'll save time for you. What kind of poison you suspect?
Arsenic.
Just a minute.
Well?
It doesn't show up in the spectrum at any rate.
Well, then there's no arsenic in it.
Well, I wouldn't want to say that for certain. A sublethal dose probably wouldn't show up anyway.
Well, let me understand this. You mean there might be arsenic in it, but not enough for a lethal dose?
That's a possibility. Of course, over a period of time, it's accumulative.
Oh, I didn't know that. How long would it take you to run a complete test?
Not more than an hour. But I couldn't get to it until this afternoon.
Well, will you do it as quickly as you can, please? Here's my card. And will you call me as soon as it's finished?
All right, Mr. Montgomery.
Thank you. Hello, darling. Yes, I just wanted to see how you were. Oh, well, that's fine. Look, darling, why don't you call one of the girls and go out to lunch, huh? Yes, well, the change will do you good. That's fine. And look, tell Mrs. Sutton not to fix anything for you. Okay. Bye, darling.
Here's that back issue you asked for. Oh, that's the woman who poisoned all those people.
Yes, I was interested in seeing what she looked like. Oh, just morbid curiosity. I had an idea she was a much older woman.
Well, I imagine she is.
What?
Well, that's an old picture of her.
Why do you say that?
Mr. Montgomery, look at that big hat with all those flowers on it. The style of the dress. Nobody wears anything like that today.
Well, how dated would you say it is?
Oh, 15 years, perhaps more.
Had 15 years, 30 pounds. Could be.
Do you recognize her?
No. I thought for a moment that I'd seen her before, but of course that's ridiculous.
Well, she gives me the jitters. Mr. Brooks says she poisons young women.
Hello?
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes. Thank you. That's all for now, and thanks for bringing the papers.
You're welcome.
Hello. Yes. Yes, this is Mr. Montgomery. Well, never mind the details. Was it poisoned or not?
All right. There was not enough arsenic to be fatal. But, as I told you earlier, arsenic is accumulative. I'd say that if you drank that much every day for a week, it would kill you.
Yes?
Hello, Mrs. Sutton. Let me talk to my wife right away.
I'm afraid you can't.
What do you mean I can't?
She's not in. No, I don't know where she went. She went out just after you phoned this morning. No, I don't know where she went. Well, I didn't think it was my place to ask. Yes, Mr. Montgomery.
Tell Mr. Brooks I've had to leave early.
Oh, you're not sick again.
No. It's my wife. I'm afraid something's happened to her.
Oh, I hope it's nothing serious.
Ethel? Ethel?
Yes, dear?
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right. I'll be down in a moment. I was just taking a shower.
Mrs. Sutton, I want you to leave.
But I'm just getting dinner.
I don't want you to get dinner tonight or any other time. I'm discharging you.
But why? What have I done that's wrong?
I think you know that better than anybody else, Mrs. Sutton.
But it ain't fair. You've got got to give me notice.
You'll get a month's wages in lieu of notice.
Well, I only done what I had to, Mr. Montgomery, and you can't say that I never took good care of you.
Yes, and you'd have taken care of my wife, too, if I hadn't found out. Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity to leave. But I won't guarantee what action I'll take after you leave.
Your wife. I knew the minute I seen her that they'd be trouble. I know the type. You can't trust any of them.
I want you out of this house in 20 minutes, Mrs. Sutton. Is that clear?
I wouldn't stay here anyways.
Ethel?
Yes, dear. Ralph, what are you doing home so early? I didn't hear you come in.
Darling, are you sure you're all right?
Oh, of course I'm all right. I just decided to take a nap instead of going out for lunch. What's wrong with Mrs. Sutton? She stormed past me like an avenging angel.
Well, I just fired her.
You fired her? Ralph, why?
Well, she just hasn't worked out. She's too unreliable.
I don't understand. What's she done?
Well, for one thing, she lied. She said you were out to lunch and you were home all the time.
Darling, she misunderstood. I told her not to bother to make lunch, that I was going out, and then I changed my mind. Darling, you're getting awfully jumpy lately.
Yes, my nerves are a little on edge these days. It's that woman. I can't wait to get her out of the house.
It's such a problem getting a good housekeeper.
Well, she goes. And the sooner, the better.
I'm leaving now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please believe me, my nerves have been on edge lately.
Well, if you'll just pay me my wages.
Yes, of course. But, you see, I would like to apologize. And perhaps you'd even consider staying on.
Not where I'm not wanted.
Well, but it was all a misunderstanding. I thought you were... I mean, well, now that I've spoken to my wife, I know that she was upstairs all the time.
Was she? Well, it's not my place to tell you what's happening behind your back.
What do you mean, Mrs. Sutton?
I mean your wife and that young man that she's in the play with. They made me lie for them, and that's not what I was hired for, Mr. Montgomery. Goodbye.
Welbeck. Ethel? Ethel?
Darling, what's the matter? You're not ill again.
No, I'm not ill, but...
We've got to do something about these nerves of yours. I made you a nice cup of cocoa. It'll quiet you down.